So what's important for Guild is to keep that in check, right? On the rounds where Nuki likes to flex out on no contact early round, he's always finding that value. So it falls to safe, if I'm honest with you, to keep him in check, especially so on Haven. We know how much of a problem that rotation time can cause some teams, and you know, Guild kind of being slower to start in terms of round time. Actually, as I say that, see, they're going to do exactly the thing I was expecting, which is they're going to go for this early sewers control. If they don't find any value and they lean back, I'm worried, actually, as this map goes on, that Heretics start exploring elsewhere.
I want to see what Guild do with this. They've taken map control. They've pulled a rotation or two. Now, my eyes instantly then, of course, turn to the likes of, you know, well, who's going to try and exploit that? Who's going to try and find a bit of room? Nuki will. He'll always go on a fact-finding mission, and he's exceedingly good at it. Now, the flex is to peek down C-Long. Draken might have spotted that. He has. So information garnered once again, but Draken's often here, so it's not a huge tell that he's over towards C-Long. The big tell is now there's a big swing. Here we go. That's a great bit of play from Guild. Almost forcing the fight. And look at the HP left on Pora. It's nothing. Flashed up still. Clears every bit of utility on the way. Flash towards the back of sight. This is a wonderful take. Now, 3 left alive for the defending side. Avova, Lau, and Rubino have to try and do something about this. Rubino, of course, being the one to play this one out. And he gets his name on the board, taken down safe, but the spike is planted.
Right here.
So that's all 3 members of Heretics, still 100 HP and with the light armor, so definitely a consideration to make. Draken actually comes out. We're behind box, so it's pretty much a 3v3 on site. The paranoia comes through. No initial swing, but Avova's going to find Yassine. They're going to find an entry back in. Avova, a second as well. Just one man standing on site. Draken, 34 HP. He's trying to lurk his way back in here, but the diffuser's coming through.
Halfway, Lol's going to sit this one. Draken's got to time in, and he can't.
No.
Heretics pull off the retake. There's only 3 of them. But the value in some of those kills coming out was exceptional. Avova out of nowhere, just plucking down like 2 players off the site. I'm amazed there was no effective trade, but great shots, I guess, from Avova, really creating that space. And Rubino, 3 already as well for him. Good beginning to things. We talk about Heretics in the roster. They do have kind of the open door of, you know, we'll bring a player in if we feel we need it. We can adjust to our opponents. I love what Nuki said recently about their game against NIP, for example, that they'll specifically change up agents just to throw people off the scent, to be able to be harder to read. Now, against Guild, I don't think you need to do that. They're not the same type of team as NIP, for example, but a fight towards Sewer to begin with. Avova there. Actually fancies the double dip. That's 2 again. He's still getting great value for this play.
You know, now hold down the fort on A site. Get spotted from the recon, but again, this is a concern for me. Once again, Guild doing, it's almost rehearsed at this point. Every single time looking for this sewers contact. No, they can actually force their way in here. I'm going to spot out both players. Now, do they still decide to commit to this? Actually, the flash comes through, yeah. Trade will come through from Lau, but again, it's not an awful lot of value on the side of Guild, right? They don't want to go for these 1-for-1s in this scenario.
No, but Draken could maybe make some space on this. The adjustment towards long is interesting. They still have the spike to hand, which is actually pretty important. Now, can they maybe hit the brakes for a second, get a little bit of paranoia building amongst the defending side? Now, Sage reaggressing to short, it's pretty interesting for Lau. That's good information recovered, and he might try and slow clear, so it's I guess, the double-edged sword. Yes, you get the info, but the timing is everything. Does he get checked on by Bonka? Does he maybe get picked up by Draken? For now, he can hold this, and that's pretty good information relayed. Now, the timing towards long is good, though. They might be able to get at least a plant out of this, potentially, if they can defend against one of these angles. And I love how deep you're already seeing the response from Heretics B. They'll play for the close plant if they need to. They don't want to have any more danger coming their way. Plant comes in. You can see the smoke's gone up. And already we're into the nice little post plant. It's on Draken, I feel, here to be the big influence if this has to go right for Guild. And already Lau, though, this is the one that's going to be a little surprise to them. They wouldn't have accounted for this position. Now they know, and it's all down to Draken in the 1v3. Doesn't get the first, and it doesn't matter. Very, very considered retake from Heretics. Lovely positioning, and just disallowed danger. And that's such an imperative thing to play in your anti-ecos.
It was, yeah, and even actually to have the awareness to throw that smoke down, just covering the top of sewer, again, it buys Bonkar a little bit of time, yes. Now, I mean, plays that perfectly. He's actually got both options there. Long went unchecked also, so him just staying alive and being that threat. Again, there's almost no time once the spike goes down. Come straight back in and back up. This time, actually, Guild, on their buy round, going to flex away from this heavy A lobby presence. Again, that's what I want to see from Guild on attack. I want to see them flex out a little bit. I don't want to see these slow, drawn-out early rounds. I think that's really where Heretics are going to pile on the pressure, so to say.
Okay, I want to keep my eyes on this, and we talk about clean. There is one rifle on deck. That's the scary one. It is with Nookie. Everyone else is on the, the bonus buy, pretty much, so that's fine. There's no subtlety to this. A very good read coming in that this is either, mid or potentially C. Now, Aura is dedicated towards site. Nookie's now here.
Everyone's here.
If they peel from this, there is still... Well, there isn't that much information to give away the peel. I guess it's just timing more than anything.
Yeah, you can see now, Rubino, getting a little bit suspicious, but Heretics, I mean, we read that perfectly based on the back of what we talked about in Guild in the early round here on Haven. No sewers presence, so everybody flexes over towards Garage and C. Actually, that recon is going to have to get dealt with, and that's going to give the information over. It's going to hopefully draw one more member of Heretics this way. Rubino, swing out. You've seen Phantom better at that range, though. We'll deal with him. I'm a little confused. Actually, you see, sorry, Lauren, the two people still committed to C here.
I think it's been hard to read. You look at the default that comes out of Guild, it's pretty well done. I don't mind it by any means. Draken's constantly at C long, so it's always hard to read into presence because they will have players on the extremities. Now, of course, this is obvious for us to see, but the retake now is where it gets a little dicey. Those SMGs aren't terrible at this, but again, Nookie is always going to be that kind of knockout blow. If he gets something, and there it is. Starts it off with a bang, Draken goes down. Does he decide to go for this one now? How much more can they find? Here comes that CT presence, bit of a spray, timings, everything, there they go. Leo and Yassine, good combination, but now the 1v1, the underhand. Oh, this could be sick. You hear him in hell, he's dropped down for it, Nookie! Oh no!
The pre-nade from Yassine, it's perfect.
Brain.
It's actually perfect.
A little parting gift. Take that.
Look at it, it's actually spot on. Wow.
Well played, Yassine. I thought that might be his own nade for a second, then I was like, wait.
I was worried for a second, yeah. But it's perfectly read by Yassine. Again, we could talk bigger picture how technically that's a bigger win for Heretics than anything. They're going to come back into this with 4 rifles and a sheriff on Pora. The now Guild will look to try and pile the pressure on in terms of the economy. Oh, does he get away? He does actually escape with his life, but Guild, a much faster hit this time around, is going to give them A site for free. Pora already making moves elsewhere.
Yeah, off the back of the ultimate from Yassine, I like the pace switch on that to just kind of hit it quick and try and just use that ultimate to crack open the site, and it's worked. And now Satchel gets lobbed down. Did it find target? I don't see it doing too much damage, so seems to be fine. Heretics once again put in this position. This time though they do have rifles, excluding Pora, of course. Yassine, pain shell early this time, maybe. Over the first star looking through, and Nookie wants to begin, tries to clear out towards that kind of short box. Yassine sprays in, finds Avova. That's great value for him, and he could do with a little bit more because Nookie's still being the equating factor. That's ultimate coming up, but he gets caught mid-air. Still finds safe, but his Bonker on the site. Holds it down, expects for the flex, and it comes in, but the shots don't come through. Bonker again doing well here. And well, the timing's dissipated. There's no chance on this now. Got to get out of there, keep that rifle, and look towards the next one. Guild, hey, whether or not you like the ultimate being used like that, oh, it didn't get a kill, doesn't matter. It got them the site, which pretty much got them the round.
It's a number of times now we see, especially players like Yassine, right? You have to respect that showstopper. Have to back up, have to give it the space. And ultimately, I mean, A site's always one we talk about on Haven, where lots of teams opt to just back up, give this up, play the retake. Fine with that, but Guild able to solidify on site. Again, Pora tried the lurk. Again, the flank came in a little too late for my liking. Everybody else kind of charging in. I guess he's got to be careful to clear through lobby, make sure nobody's deep on A long as well. Look at this from Guild. It's the 4-man walk up C long. Nobody on site here. Saw them do this a number of times on Haven as well. They're looking much faster in the early round. Way faster.
It feels to me like they have a really good plan in mind and they're executing it very well. It seems very clear focus for now. I want to see how Heretics disrupt this Avova. Safe is super good at catching those flanks, by the way. Like, he's one of the best, I feel, at it, but he just got beheaded. So that's a little unfortunate, but still, the round continues on, and we are now into a 5v3. 3, but the time is ticking. They've got to get a move on, and Leo's still alive. You know, there's a chance, but not now.
No.
The swing from Poro, so well timed. Bonga gets caught with his pants down, and now Draken called upon. That's 1, that's 2, it's 3, but he needs more. The diffuse is still going on. He can't get to it, and out of nowhere, Heretics pull off the retake.
Wow. Yeah, Bonka, unfortunately, just tries to swing onto connector with the recon bolt in hand, and I think that's a pivotal moment there. Again, I think his teammates swung on, saw 3. As soon as they get that kill, you know they're going to charge you down. Almost no value in getting information off the recon, right? A little bit of a slip up there, but Heretics respond with round win. It's actually going to put Guild in a funky position economy-wise. You can see now 2 frenzies, 2 sheriffs into this one. See, Romino going to pop the Hunter's Fury, so that's going to clear out a lot of A lobby. On the flip side, Bonkar on the other side of the map actually going to send his out. Again, Guild going to walk their way onto C site.
If they're confident in their retakes, I don't necessarily mind it. It's one of those though, isn't it? You are probably up against a slightly forced up team. I mean, it's not really a forced buy, it's just sheriffs and frenzies, bits and pieces. Some armor, but not a great deal. So this should be easier to play retake against. However, it always feels against pistols, they stay packed and it's really hard to break in. But Nuki is so sick at that. Just instantly finds 2, creates some space, but you're seeing one in on some of the action as well. And now suddenly there's a bit of a problem. And actually that problem is mounting. Leo's still there, it's sort of over. But oh, look how stunned he is. Sees nothing but Leo's bullets being placed into his brain. And Guild convert another round. And we've just had 2 ecos essentially converting the rounds.
Yeah, and again, you can understand that this early round setup from Heretics to try and find value off the Hunter's Fury. Again, actually backing away and giving up C for retake, I'm okay with it. But Poor is the man you'd look to go on that kind of lurk and flank through elsewhere. In that scenario, you're against Frenzies and Sheriffs, I feel like one of Heretics needs to go long there. They need to create that second angle. Again, put their weapons to use, right? They want to play these ranged fights. It's actually, I was going to say, Draken posted up for this, whether or not he finds the first, but that's going to back away because it's all 3 are actually going to nade him all the way back into spawn.
I'll see what the plan is while this happens. But look how they're funneling them towards A. This is really nice because Lol's got the rifle again. So if they can be enough of a nuisance that, maybe we should just play towards A, that's a really good approach, and that's exactly what Heretics would want. Now, whether or not Guild's kind of suspicion goes, well, that's a bit weird that they're just giving us complete entry. I guess the wall was there, so they're like, teasing the concept of it. Whether or not they know that Lol was able to kind of filter through a rifle and still work on it, might give away that game. Try towards mid, Nuki still finds Leo. And surely we don't see another round going like this.
Slow down a little bit. The neural theft goes out. Yeah, Guild. Again, in that scenario, we hate seeing them in. 30 seconds left on the clock, and
30 seconds
just
left.
now, like, formulating a plan. And B-site's going to be open. Lau. Oh, did he just kick? I think he caught the cross on the first. Bonka, actually, they're going to trade headshots.
This should be okay now. They removed the biggest danger that was going to be Lol with that rifle. So now the kind of potency of this round has dissipated. Interesting end towards B as well. But I think I've got to give credit to Guild there to not kind of fall foul to the mayhem, right? To not get funneled in towards Lol, to not kind of fall for that, oh, they're pushing up here, let's, instantly just kind of re-aggress somewhere else. That was a very well-considered round from Guild. They kept their composure under the pressure that some don't necessarily maintain. Now, we talk about side bias on this map a little more because it does, I feel like, open up chances for the attacking side to do quite nicely. So, again, I think, but taking into account how we're seeing the rounds go down, I've got to give credit to Guild here. They are the underdogs in this. I think there's no disrespect saying that. I think it's a fair, assessment. And they've come in and they've actually put up a really good display so far. Now, I want to see a response from Heretics, though. They need to find an answer, and it has to come in now. It looks like we've seen a bit of a switch up of position. First flash towards long, going to force the peek is away. You can't really keep having a little look. TP comes in. It's going to be towards heaven.
Oh, he has to cancel,
he cancelled out. Nuki, though, does burn the ult for it.
Actually,
just avoid Nuki?
it was a full-on fake there, and I guess Nuki's showing that presence with the showstopper. Guild are going to actually descend onto C site. Actually, Bonkar goes through to challenge the TP. That's spiked down. Yassine tries to respond with a showstopper of his own.
I'm looking at that mid lurk as well. Want to see if that comes into effect. The timing's going to be important because you've got Nuki doing the same thing as well. So now here we go. Leo's found Lol and it's going to be game back on. Suddenly, this becomes a bit of a problem. You can see Heretics pausing for thought here. They're considering that there could be a flank as well. That cage is just going to keep vision limited. Now, Nuki's timing is everything. You've got to know you're playing against Nuki, and now with that gone, you've got to be on red alert. Where's the call? Where's the comms? Where is the information relay? Nuki's there!
No way.
You can't allow him that. You cannot let him get away with that sort of thing. Now Draken's got to find his place. He has to come into this now, as it's just Draken. Can he thread the needle as well as Nuki just did? They seem suspicious of this. They seem aware. I'm seeing already Rubino watching towards it. Heretics. They lean into their strength, into that Nuki flank, and no information was filtered back through towards Guild.
Yeah, I mean, even at that point, the trapwire gets popped. I don't know if it's just in the chaos of... Well, I mean, nothing was going on site, right? They weren't in a gunfight at that point, so a little bizarre. But I mean, even there, they just need to break line of sight. They need to not allow Nuki to get that angle. Again, after Bonkar comes through to challenge Avova, the round kind of slowed into a stalemate after they retrieved it. They didn't want to commit to the plant there. I don't think they had a good read on exactly where Heretics were positioned, and kind of slipped through their fingers, to be honest with you, Lauren.
Look, we said one of the biggest conditions of beating the likes of Heretics is to keep someone like Nuki under wraps. You can't let him get away with those flanks because you know he's going to try it so often, and he's so good at the timing on it. It's such a characteristic piece for him. Now, it seems like we've gone back to a default here, coming out for the attacking side of Guild. They're taking their time. They just want to get the lay of the land, and that's a pretty decent assessment. We do, however, see Nuki soloing out on this side. Look how heavy the lean towards C is this time. Maybe feeling that, you know, they throw a lot of fakes towards A, but if they don't take over Sua's control early, we tend to believe it to be a fake, which it could be for now.
And Guild will drift away. I think they're now getting to the point where, at least in the early round, they know what they want to achieve. It's not just bouncing back and forth. Yeah, this split could be interesting here because they might get really good timing here. Yassine actually had an opportunity to open that one up. Draken comes through with the trade, though.
Still waiting on the next part of this, which is still Nuki as the final kind of line, but Avova's on the side trying to hold this down, almost baiting in Lol. He's not giving away too much. They should check on this, but there we go. Leo does. 14 seconds now. Time's becoming an element to this one. Great readjustment from Leo, but Avova, oh, out of nowhere, like a thief in the night, denies the plant, and now Leo's back on the case. He's got to get this done. He does. Spike now down, but it's Nuki, and he knows they're going to be close to sight. They wouldn't have time for big readjustments. He can't get the shot. Leo's there. And Leo's clutching was so important for Guild not too long ago. That was a very good round for him.
A huge... Nuki had an opportunity to wait out that dark cover. Again, he doesn't know, but that smoke was literally about to drop. You can see it's already here, so there's another 10 seconds on it at least until Nuki comes round. But heartbreaking for Avova, the fact that he slips in and out and finds 2 kills there. Can't connect with the third, unfortunately. And again, even if that came just a second or 2 later, right, the round's over. There's no time left for the plant.
I'm also interested in the read to rotate towards A. Now, this is normally their standard A take, so I wonder if this is them just trying to throw fakes now, trying to adjust the kind of indicators of what they're going to do. Most teams will have kind of giveaways and tells, but this sewer control normally does eventually lead in towards an A take. It's not subtle. But by now they're working with less. This is going to be one of those very low buy rounds. You've got Sheriffs. Now they have both these teams have converted these the way they shouldn't, I guess, technically. But present, getting the feel of things, maybe thinking, feels like an A stack. So I think we're going to go elsewhere. Because I guess you've taken down Bora, so it might be a good read.
I'll be honest, it's the same yo-yo again, though, Guild. Well, once again, yes, we could talk about the equipment and the purchase situation for Heretics, but this early A presence is... I mean, Heretics is not able to get a grip on it. They're not looking to challenge it. They're not looking to kind of pivot elsewhere on the map. And again, whether or not we see Nuki become the defining factor of this. scene. Actually manages to tuck all the way in behind. Kind of over. But the lurk now noted. Oh. We weren't watching, don't worry. You had a good nade earlier. You allowed that one.
Yeah, you can whip one. That's fine. But I'm impressed with Guild. I don't want to get overly excited by it yet, because, you know, attack and defense on this map it's a little different to some others, but I do want to highlight that Guild have had Heretics in their pocket so far. Heretics have not been able to get a good grip on the read yet, and their money's also been pretty much consistently broken. They're able to fashion a buy this round, of course, but as said, it's full buy to eco straight away. They've been barely able to establish throughout this one, so they need that read. I don't know how they're going to get it. Maybe a tactical timeout could help them try and analyze and quickly adjust to what Guild are doing, and maybe some of those tells to be in the right place. Because look, this map is traditionally the one that's hard, right? Like, you can get aggressive on it, sure, but you got 3 bomb sites, spike sites. Definitely not a bomb, alright? It's a spike, I promise you. But it's one of those where I'm just kind of considering, you know, what tells can they read into? Because the problem is now, Guild know that, okay, well, the tactical timeout's been called, so let's just switch it up. Let's just do something just super obtuse. Just go for something straight up, in your face. Doesn't matter. They can instantly switch up the pace to throw them off.
This is the time I want to see a fast site hit. Like, just straight out, as soon as the barrier drops, come out swinging. It looks like they might try and find something down C long. 3 players. Yeah, no, it's just an owl drone up. Avova's position going to be noted, but they're going to anticipate a second playing close. Actually, the wall goes down, so yes, the information will go across that there's at least 2 over here. Hunter's Fury gets invested to try and find one of these. Actually, it does connect onto the foul, but won't secure the kill on that one. He's going to go for the double shock dart. Nobody behind default, though. Jonas will love that in chat, obviously.
I think they do it just for him now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I just want to make you smile. But, TP invested. Over looking for some info. They've how much he got out of that there. They still haven't really responded to this, and it's a slow creep towards A again. 2-2 split towards it, and your scene's gonna have a little wander towards Garage, but anything might just keep him present towards mid a little longer. Guild do get side control, nothing to deny this plan either. So once again, I said there was nothing. Now they did get a tag, but not.
There's 2 tags.
Yeah, that is actually 2 tags. I just saw at the end just catch him. Now they're both down to 70 HP, but they're still very much alive. And they're still very much in a 5v4 post-plant. Leo gets a bit more chip damage as well. This is starting to get a little dicey.
Yeah, no utility, actually. So, well, they have a shock dart and 1 recon up now. That's going to get a good ping, actually. They'll try and send the owl drone in just enough. Avova will find safe on the way in. Guild now need to secure this. This is going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Nuki's already kind of wormed his way out. Draken's there, but on towards the spike. Pora goes. That's not on.
No
That's
way.
not on. Pora's just going to sit this. Full faith in the teammates to lock this down, make sure no one could pressure. And that's a frustrating one for Heretics. There was very little utility on Heretics to play back with, right? Like, they had, I think it was literally just owl drone and little bits and pieces. There was not much more than that. But the fact that Nuki got to this point, unchecked on, uncalled on, I don't know how you've gotten away with that.
A brazen push. I mean, actually, the last thing that Heretics used, I think, back from that spawn connector was the paint shells, and that drew out the Rolling Thunder. Leo was in hell. As soon as he throws that paint shell, they're trying to isolate that player in hell, the bounce off back of default. That draws out the Rolling Thunder. Right there, that's the biggest tool that Guild had to stop the push coming through. So actually, they find no value off that, because they're anticipating the hit coming through to follow up on the paint shell.
The scene just kind of rolling it back a little here, trying to get in towards B, but it's Draken to lead the way. Lal's found him with no trade available. The smoke's in the way, kind of dividing middle, keeping favorable trades to the defensive side. Now the 5v4 Guild, though, starting to explore their options, and Safe's gotten great progress. He's just walked A on his own. He can just sit on so much space, and Rubino's playing CT. He's playing super passive on this. Now, actually, Safe wins the fight, too, to an extent that it forces him off the angle. This is a problem. Heretics are going to have to once again pull off another retake. They do have more utility this time, though.
Nobody on the flank, though, so it's literally just going to be split between Heaven and Spawn Connector. It's going to be very difficult for them to crack their way back into this one. Joe Stopper gets popped. preemptively actually going to find one. Yassine hops up, Lyle will fall in heaven.
Oh, it's perfect. That's how you want. Safe, though, going to get played in on this. Do they check it? He doesn't give away the game, and now they get the line up. Great work from Safe. The trigger discipline plays so well. And Guild make it work, but again, I have to say, the room that Safe garnered was everything to that round. He was able to get way ahead of the others, just straight up walked sight.
Yeah, and that kill is huge from Yassine. That was the domino effect. Of course, it's Lowell as well. That revive was available for them in that round. Again, situationally very difficult for them to find that. A 7-5 half, and I mean, really, talked win conditions. For me, that's a big one for Guild, is to have a strong attack in half.
They've got the tick in the box. We talk about win conditions, especially when it comes to underdogs, because they're quite hard to achieve normally. You know, they don't have an easy map pool against Heretics, because it's quite similar, and I'd argue Heretics have more experience in that. So Guild have come in and they've done everything that was required of them. They've kept Nookie quiet enough. They've, you know, been able to take these site hits pretty well. They didn't let Heretics lead the pace by any means. So this is a really good display to begin with. Now they have to try and make sure they keep that pressure up, keep that presence up. Heretics do get their go on the attack, though, so they get to define the pace, kind of control the mind games. Keep in mind, this is a semi-final here. This is where the big boys come out to play. Suddenly, it's all a little bit dicier. Draken's the one who's going to receive all the attention. It looks like everyone up long. Now, that's going to be a good bit of time bought there by the utility, and an ambitious swing from Safe, but they came out of it at the right time. Olel was just anti-flash on this. He caught none of it, so he's fine. That's a free pick, and now they look to adjust.
They're just going to swing back over. They have the man advantage now, so they can stack up like this and go wherever they want. Try and play the numbers game. Actually, two members of Guild creeping their way down sewers. Well, they're going to set up the crossfire here. This could be huge for Guild.
Oh no, that's one, that's two, that's three,
It's
Guild!
huge.
That's just the clothesline through sewer. They couldn't make it past it, and now Heretics just left in tatters. You got him over. The one player left alive gets one, gets the dink on the second, but it ain't enough. Guild! What a setup.
I mean, the timing on that was fantastic. They catch the audio cue again. Tried to split through three sewers too long, which, yeah, I mean, it's hindsight, but when it comes up, just challenges the same side there. Again, it's two 50-50 angles. Like I said, the timing is brilliant for Guild to catch the cue when they did. That's off the back of the first blood as well. I mean, at that point, if it was one player, yeah, you'd expect them to play back passively, but right there, I don't think Heretics are still anticipating that double stack.
Oh, they definitely weren't. Didn't handle it as well as they'd like. Now they are going to just suffer through this round. We do have a Ghost out, and that's about it. Wall as well, so maybe looking to try and create the avenue in. Don't even need it particularly, actually. Be very open and ready for taking, so Spike should be able to be planted. I don't think much is going to stop that. Boombot on the way. No harm, no foul. Draken. A little glimpse himself, but he's working with like a marshal here. I'm glad they didn't go up C-Long for their sake, because we saw what he did yesterday to people. As it stands, Guild, you know, being held away for now, but once this retake starts, it's going to get sketchy. Draken with a good read, but he loses his life. Nice flex there coming out from Heretics to make some aggressive maneuvers. However, answer back for Yassine, so already I'm just going to wait this one out. Oh, Lau! That's one! He can't get the second, though. That's going to be Leo taking him down. Safe needs to almost offer up his life to protect that defuse coming in. And it's pulled him off it for a second. It's halfway there, and there's no more denying it. Leo does very well, and that's, again, something that I can't stop singing the praises of this player. His kills are always just high value.
Really is. I mean, for Heretics to get the plant down near damage-wise.
Couple of kills. Not bad.
But the thing is, I mean, Guild still pulling two Bulldogs into this round. Yeah, we'll see what Draken and Yassine settle for here, whether or not they just try and roll through with the pistols. It looks as if it's going to settle for that. So two Bulldogs, a Spectre, a couple of pistols to go for this. You'll see if Guild try and capitalize on this a little bit. Actually, a quick hit. Yeah, Yassine actually going to charge right the way down long here. Try and pick up this kill. Avova just going to swing, though. Not sure about the Boombot in that scenario, but...
Sometimes you overcook the thought. Sometimes you give it a little too much thought, and Leo, no thoughts, just frags. Just wanders in, batten down the hatches, brings it back to a 4v4. Now this gives away that, of course, there are further presence towards long, but Heretics, they're keeping good enough control of the flank that you can see the awareness starting to rise. Like, is there a chance? I think we're okay. So a split through sewer. Actually, they're peeling away on this side. They've backed and left one player towards heaven, I think.
It was actually... Heretics actually going to come all the way through here, whether or not backing up for utility. It doesn't look like it. A little, spread a little thin, I'll be honest, on the side of Guild. I don't know if they're going to look to just settle for exits here. I'm not sure really what the plan is here. Nobody coming through to contest right now. You can see just about now leaning in. Here you go, the utility. Yeah, they are going to come for the retake.
Timing's going to be a big factor on this. They're going to have to work quick. Now, Safe's going to get a good run up towards long. They actually might catch the timing towards one. No, Rubino turns around, feels that pressure mounting. He has having none of what he's trying to sell. Bonker in the smoke. As soon as he goes through, advantage should have been on the other side, but it actually goes Bonkar's way for a second or two. But look at the trade outs. Heretics still in drastic numbers, and Draken, there ain't no time for this, bud. Maybe just trying to keep them present, cost them the rifles. That's done pretty well, at least towards one.
You see that again, the emphasis really lies on Guild to break the economy in that round, and actually, as it turns out, that late hit, it keeps them present on the site long enough, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't give them time to push through and hunt down those kills. Just delaying it by 5 to 10 seconds actually works out in their favor. Only 2 that survived through. Yeah, they did both. I know, obviously, Heretics was their buy round, whether or not they had... Well, actually, yeah, Rubino's still down on 27 armor, so...
Not perfect. I've got to say, if Guild are coming at this purely from a perspective of trying to keep the economy from swelling, then they've done really well at that. That was probably the best they could make out of it. So fair enough. They've kept it, good England. Kept it on a fairly even keel when it comes to that. So it's a fair shout around. Bonker is going to be suffering a little bit, of course, as he does only have the SMG, but he does have his ultimate, so maybe he can utilize that. I like what Safe's doing here. That's... Oh, has it been noted?
No way.
Oh, look, he still goes for the check on it. No, everything that's going on. Safe's in a horrible spot now, but... Timing. Does he get it? Yes, he does. Safe. Well played on the lurk around the smoke, but here comes that quick pressure through short. But wait, Avova finds Draken on this. Safe is still a danger man because he's on a really favorable angle to work with. But for how long? Lau's found 2, and Safe's position is still valued. No, it's gone. Pora checks on him, and this round has been wrapped up. Bonker tries to play it back in, but he's a mile away from getting past Lau. And what a moment for him there.
That was beautiful. Again, Nuki identifying one player being tucked in cubby, and somebody from site has to keep him safe there. They have to bail him out of that position. And actually, yeah, even though Nuki doesn't find that kill, as soon as the pressure comes through onto Nuki, you can see straight away the explosions through Garage. They split. They know that the focus is elsewhere from that second site player. And ultimately, Safe can't do anything from cubby, even if he gets that kill, right? The fact that Lau then pivots off that pressure finds those 2 kills and connector. Absolutely fantastic round there from Heretics.
Okay, 9-7. Go again. Guild probably starting to feel a bit of a pinch here. Money has dwindled down to buckies, sheriffs. Not a nice round, and Heretics should do their due diligence. They should be checking everything in front of them. There could be stacks. There could be weird, dirty plays with buckies. Who knows what they're up to? Bova going to go on a fact-finding mission. He's found a little. That's not bad. Information relayed. Safe's corner not feeling so secure now.
Actually, I guess that is going to pull Guild off of C a little bit. The recon Dark going to give it away, but Heretics... What? Safe? Just got flying through with a bucky. Will get traded out, but...
Your duty is not over.
Poor old Nuki, head still ringing, gets brought back to his feet. So it is still a 5v4 even after that early work from Safe.
A wall placement.
Now that wall, quite nice. That keeps the site almost way more accessible for the planting side of Heretics. Now, Al's got a bit more safety for some time here to play with his filters. Guild through to very few angles. Nuki's loving it as well. Where does he take this up and over? Just sends it. No one was there. They hugged the wall for dear life. And as you can see, these angles are extremely favorable towards Heretics. And right now, specifically Nuki.
One enemy remaining.
Bucky, yeah. So they just posted up. Leo gonna try and keep him as close as possible, but Heretics gonna be able to slip away here. I love the placement of that wall. It's so clean again. Just literally cuts off the possibility of them being able to pressure that plant on backside. Heretics actually bouncing back a little bit.
They definitely find a nice stabilizing factor. The money's certainly looking good for them too, enough to an extent that they've kept Guild pretty humble at this point. Here comes the second go of the buy, and that's coupled with a fair few ultimates. Now I'm looking at Yassine, Bonkar, and Safe to do some work with this. Draken's not far from his either. Now, what do we have on the other side now? I guess Rubino's got his if they want to try and make something happen off the back of it, but look at this aggression from Yassine. Now he will instantly take C-Long control. Now what's the response? It looks like Heretics want to take back mid. There's always normally a response to aggression on extremities, and there's straight run middle. Wall goes up, and Pora takes space. Gotta be careful of the connector here. And oh wow, Pora just walks through it! No brakes, all gas. Spike should be planted any second now, but no, they're carrying on. They want to take this towards A. This is going to be on that one A player who is that waiting, but it doesn't matter! Heretics!
Oh my God.
They check this? Oh, this is filthy work. Nuki is having a tear of a round as well. They just took the world tour of the map and they've just won every fight. That's flawless.
No better word for it. Just beautiful. Again, coming through, finding all that space. They can isolate that kill outside sewers. And right here, there's an absolute death grip over the entire map. As soon as the Hunter's Fury comes through, again, they know an extra player over towards C, right? They know that they have the space to flex out and do that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful from Heretics.
Okay, and again, this is, look at the money buffer. 8k already in the pocket. You've got 8.4 and over, 7.9 on low. Everyone's good. And the money for Guild is in dire straits, broken down. That's a pixel though that Yassine can take down. Pops the ultimate, he gets another. This is sick stuff from Yassine. If he can get that rifle though, that'd be perfect. Can he maybe get it back? Maybe a deep nade, and he can hop up if he fancies, but maybe overfeeling that would be a little bit too risky. So he peels back towards B, but damage done.
Yes, Heretics still sat back, anticipating a little more aggression on the back of that, but Guild, I mean, like you said, the hard work's done. They need to sit back, wait for Heretics to try and force their way in somewhere. Ooh. Just took the trap wire, right? That's going to give away the audio code exactly where he's positioned.
Draken jump peeked it. He knows what's up, puts down a smoke for himself to try and play around, but Nuki's found safe, so he's all alone. Draken can't make it out of there in time. Lol grabs him and drags him to the ground. 3v3 now begins. Spike to be planted. They've made up for those mistakes, and that wall's back in place. Look at this
this angle's
dirty angle for Loud. That is, ooh, just filthy in all the right ways. You know, just brings you a little joy. Now timing's a factor, and Leo could find it. Ultimate gets popped. There it is. Lol is just the guillotine waiting. Leo continues forward, but by now he's lost all of that bite. A trade to close this down, but Lau with a fantastic end to that in the post plant.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the reasoning for pulling the trap wire off there. Again, with Draken jump spotting, I guess just a little bit of a mistiming there, but the fact that Heretics were able to stack up so close and Safe pulls his trap wire away without even getting the information, yeah, nobody's down long, right? There's no reason for him to take that away, and again, it's the audio cue that gives up. Nuki able to hop up. Yes, Draken can jump spot it. You can say, yeah, the people long, but with 3 that close, they charge him down every single time.
Now they know that this is one of the few buys the Guild has, so why not just switch up the pace, go for something quick, and that looks what they're going to do. There are 2 players on the C site, and there's actually one pretty close by that can swing over too, so this is still actually a pretty hard side take if they commit. Now Nuki fully blind though, doesn't quite catch Safe leaning forward, but they both somewhat backed away out of this. Now they've drawn 3 players, and they've also posted up Nuki into a really good flanking position to catch the rotation. Now his timing's going to be everything the barrel shows, and the execution comes in from Leo. Nice work from him to predict that, but you can see what Heretics were trying to do, and it almost worked out. But they recommit towards C long now.
We're going to creep up Safe. It has to get something done there. Leo will respond, but you know, now actually going to throw the Rolling Thunder in. Try and charge. Oh, he's so close to that, but of over. The counter peak is so good.
Scanning ahead.
Ultimate's being invested as well. This is information now free-flowing. Scene and Bonker called upon. Spike is yet to be planted and has to cross the site. That's a bit of a problem, as Yassine can't watch that, and he's going to catch off Pora. Now, who else is up for the challenge? Bonker's got a bit more info, relayed this. This is really good work between the two. But look at this flank from Yassine. The readjustment's mad. The paranoia of him being in towards Garage is enough to buy them time, because this cross, they have to invest into it. Town Q may have given away here, but let's see what Yassine can achieve. The plant comes in. They have no idea of long. Now Yassine, if he takes the time, he can find so many. That's going to be one. He needs a second. Can they find Rubino? Now Rubino knows. Okay, there's one on long. There's one towards CT. He's going to posture up for a clean fight towards the long player. Let's see what the timing's like coming in for Bonker. He's trying to divide the battlefield into favorable 1v1s. The timing, though, just peels away. Oh, Yassine's readjustment is a gift in this round. He knew that that short cross was going to just hinder them for enough time that he could readjust towards long. Really well done.
Like as well, like the discipline to sit back. They don't rush through there. They take their time. They're clearing angles. They're playing off each other as well. The pinch comes through after there's no possibility of him being anywhere else on site. Really, really good stuff from Guild. And to tie things up here, 10-10. Like I said, we've already talked about Heretics and their economy. They're sitting pretty right now. Ultimates-wise, Nuki and Avova one away. Al has that revive online. Actually, on the side of Guild, it's the Neural Theft. Draken's from the shadows available. Whether or not we see them get invested here. Again, we look towards the Playmaker Ultimates, the Hunter's Fury. Showstopper, the Rolling Thunder. Nothing at either side's disposal this round.
Now, I'd love to see the progression of rounds, because this has been Heretics kind of continuing a little forward. But Guild, in the last couple, stabilized a little bit. Now, I want to see what Heretics do, because they've been met a little here. They've been not necessarily red, but Guild have been in the right places for it. We've got a triple stack towards Garage. Draken safe all around. Ooh, an overpeak, but a trade. Really valuable trade from Safe. That's a hit and run. Get out of there. I don't know how he got that pick.
Literally just like the fadeaway two-tap with the Phantom. That was disgusting. Heretics going to try and stabilize, though. Obviously, that's the reason they want to get the revive off. But I love this response from Guild. They're going to creep down long here. Two players, actually. Safe and Yassine going to get deep behind. They have to deal with the trap wire. That's going to alert Pora. He's going to be on red alert, and actually, Yassine will fall.
I'm curious about this read. I mean, it's going to be a... I just want to see what Safe does with this now. Is he... How aware is he of this pressure coming through? Nuki's right there. Okay, nice work from Safe to keep that in mind. And the trade out now for Pora is effective towards Garage. This is leaving with just Bonker and Safe, and Bonker's position's locked off by a wall. He's lost info on Garage where his player just went down, and Safe can't find anything. This is time to back away and just try and keep that gun potentially at this point. Safe's done well, but not enough to convert anything from this round.
I love the response there from Guild. The only thing I don't like is popping the trap wire. I don't think they need to aggress any further there. They can
3 out of 5.
sit back and... I don't want to say wait for Heretics to slip up, but at least be a threat in the retake. Faith going to try and hold on to this now, but they are hunting him down. Ooh, doesn't get caught.
Nice one.
But yeah, just a little weird there. I love the fact that they swing away from that pressure and they set up. But I mean, against Heretics, you got to anticipate Pora's going to be sat there, right? That's the sort of position we tend to see him in, especially if that pressure comes through Garage. He's going to drift away from A, right? Just a little strange.
11-10. Economy-wise, I want to see Guilds in a weird spot here. This could be 12, couldn't it? You've got a Frenzy, Classic Buckies. Leo and Safe have to be instrumental in this, and I'm kind of keeping my eyes trained on them. You do at least have Safe kind of lingering around A, sets up his utility and peels away. Leaves it to Leo. So they're in the right place for this. This is probably the hardest site to take right now for Heretics, at least with the weaponry coming to mind. Now, as much as this isn't great, this at least means I'm in the right place at the right time and they don't check on the cubby. How does he get away with that? And now Leo's clutched from here before. Is he going to do it again? The flash of Over's had none of it. But Safe gets the time to come in and trade. But that was Lau, not of Over. So he knows there's still danger here. And this 3v2 is now a 2v2. Make it a 1v2. Yassine is a little further away. He can't capitalize on this. Bucky feels a little limited. Maybe a rifle's on the ground that he could maybe switch out to, but the grenade could get him a little bit closer. Gets rid of that, hops on in. He's got a gap closer. He can try and close the distance. Not going to happen. Avova. What a shutdown.
For a second there, he got a really good tag onto Rubino. You can see Rubino down to 14 HP. That was close. Yassine actually managed to close the distance so quickly there. He's actually pretty unfortunate not to win that.
One enemy
He made the
remaining.
perfect move with the paint shell as well.
Yes, 100%. He did. Considering what they had, that round was dicey, and Avova was a huge factor. The trade that came in was incredibly well timed because you still had Safe and Leo. And hold on, I'm seeing an op come out. Main, I guess you got to try something different. And Safe running the op now. You know, maybe just post himself up on towards A-Long. You can kind of leave him to this. Show presence with your Sova and then maybe back away if you want to. You can stack elsewhere. You can put a lot of value into an op like this. And the other side, pretty standard take for now.
Heretics gonna sit back. I guess maybe anticipating a little bit of desperation on the side of Guild. Was the back end of map 1. Or we're going to readjust, so that makes me feel as if, yeah, the C hit's going to come through. You can see now, 4-man walk. There's 3 members of Guild here, and Draken going to catch that information. So we set up with his paranoia. The paint shell's actually perfect, going to do a little bit of damage. But look at it, it's a response. Yassine actually going to open up with a showstopper of his own, and Heretics, they've got to hit the brakes right now.
They found nothing from this. They've literally got nothing out of that, and they've just lost out on Nookie, so now they disengage and look towards potentially B as it stands. Last time they went on that world tour, kind of flanked through towards A. Surely they don't go for it now. They don't have the same sort of presence. And that fast flank from Yassine could certainly be in place, though. Let's see how this unfolds, as eventually Avova's going to kind of lean over with them as well. Pora trying to clear towards Connector, but it's going to be Safe. Safe walks in, but Rubino takes him down. And that's the equalizer. You're going to see the ultimates being popped, but can they find the plant? For now, no. Nothing more to be hindered. He does actually catch Pora. That's big. Lau now has to move. Opens up a chance for the play back in. Now we wait. See what the timing's like. A 3v3 now begins, and they're all coming from the same side, all from that BC connector.
Actually, if overplaying so deep here, can actually slip in Gary's behind. You can see that's exactly what he's going to do. Keep your eye on the minimap here, but Lau needs to hold down. Draken going to open things up on the site. Rubino responds here.
There he is. There's that flank coming in his bonker with it all to do, and he's got nothing to do it with. Heretics just grind it out in the end.
Well, I think we talked about some win conditions before map 1 started. This is there's more of an emphasis on that, right? We talked about kind of keeping Nookie in check, not allowing him to kind of lurk in the way that we've seen him do more and more recently. So how much Guild now read into that as an aspect, right? I mean, again, think back to the Reddit thread, right? Like everybody's talking about that now. It's a hot topic. So hopefully Guild make an adjustment on the back of that. It was a very slow start actually to the pistol rounder. You can see 3 members of Guild flexing over towards A main. Nothing really for Pora and Lau to deal with on B main.
Yeah, and as it stands, Guild, of course, on the attack have already aggressed towards the site. They've got decent control with Yassine, kind of going towards a little bit deeper towards Hell and Heaven. Having a little check, just showing presence, allowing that spike to be planted. Now, that's not bad. That will dissuade the bomb. The spike from being planted. It's really catching me today, isn't it? I'm gonna get an email. Hello, Pansy. We need to have a chat. And again, only wants to have a voice in this conversation is Rubino. Tries to have a little bit of a lean down towards Hell, but Leo's got his number, catching him down below, and you can see them almost baiting here. But this is where someone like Reyna can become super deadly. Let's see if we can get any more value. Not really. They're finding it hard to break back into this, and here we go. Finally, the commitment from Heretics. Effective trade for Yassine, and Draken doubles down. That's massive. Trying to clear out Hell here is so difficult with Draken doing that sort of damage.
Huge round from Draken there individually, but I like the approach from Heretics. They're very cautious there. They're looking for as much damage as possible before they have to commit to dropping off. And unfortunately, I mean, it's only the one challenge coming out from Avova behind Generator. And yeah, Pora and Nookie just line up for him, unfortunately. the guild will stabilize.
Okay. It's big for the mental, right? You just had a tough loss on map 1. Come back, pick up the pistol. You're like, okay, we can now build off this. This gives us a bit of a buffer. No confidence, momentum roll on from Heretics. Now, again, people at home, check in who you voted for as well in chat. It looks like Heretics kind of sitting at a 3-1 almost, you guys are saying. Majority still predicting Heretics to do well on this map. Thank you, mods, for popping that up there. Always good to see the people's thoughts. Put their points behind it. I have to put their chat points. Useless chat points on the line, but it makes it exciting, doesn't it? Now, speaking of excitement, this round shouldn't have too much of it. Just looking at the purchase coming up from Heretics, we have 1 Sheriff, and that's about it. Now, there is a stack, and there is a Reyna going for a little bit of a walk. And there's potentially a sorry little Cypher, but it is safe. So I'm not too worried, but there we go. Nuki does trade, and that's a gun recovered. Lovely. That's not bad. Filter that back on through. Could maybe spread the wealth if, you know, maybe Nuki just wants to have that Sheriff.
They're going to try and catch him.
Filter it out, but you're right. Oh, lucky. Very lucky.
Didn't actually realize the door had been closed there. Both players actually going to back up to heaven here. They're going to potentially line up, but Nuki comes out on top of that one. Bonka will fall. Nuki will find his third. Leo finally responds, but already being a nuisance for Guild here. Nuki actually going to find his fourth. Now Leo, the last man standing here, and this round should not have played out this way whatsoever.
Now, this is what I say about Reyna. It's the most, I'd say one of the most self-sustaining agents, right? Like, it's, especially if you're a fragger, that is. Now, of course, you could argue that someone like Sage is probably the most self-sustaining technically, and of course he aces it! Of course! When you put some of the best players in the world on an agent like Reyna, you get this. That was against a pretty decent buy. There were rifles, there were specters, there was armor, and Nuki had a Sheriff. So this is what I mean. You put 10s on Reyna, you put Nuki on Reyna, they're gonna scream on the Reyna. This is where it just gets a little wild. I mean, I want to see more of it, especially in Europe. I think we've got so much firepower in some of these players. And of course, Europe's, you know, the reserved, you know, thinking man's game, but you add a little spice to that, little dash of paprika in there. It's a little interesting.
He's going to sit back a little deeper here again. Want to try and play distance versus the equipment guild have to deal with. You know, ready. Oh my god! Finds 2 through the smoke there. Avova will find the third as well, and
it's not meant to be that easy.
No, it's not.
Oh dear, that's more. Nuki's just having fun. Have you ever? I don't know how to characterize this. He just got like 2 free kills, and now he's just hanging out, doing just fine. Finally gets put to bed by Bonka, but to what extent? 11 HP in a dream? Yeah, the dream's a dash. This is more a nightmare. Already, we talked about momentum, and that sort of like thought process that could come in. You're gonna have a scenario where Nuki's feeling confident. Now, it's something that we haven't talked too much about yet, but like, look at this. He just spams to the wall side. If you're gonna sit there, don't line up on the edges of the walls. Because that smoke didn't cover the other side enough. You might have been able to see, so the smart choice, which it was to spam by that side of the wall. It's actually a really good choice. It was smart. It wasn't just like a random hope for the best. That was a good idea to execute. So the confidence the guild would have garnered, kind of going, right, we've stopped that momentum, has just been given over to Nuki. He's got that hot hand where the game just feels right. All of those intuitions that he has, all those thoughts that he has, are now going to be feeling correct. It's like, right, I know exactly what they're up to. I can feel out the game. Now a mid play coming out from him. This is bold. He's walking mid, and there is an Omen there. And already you can see Omen towards that Sabarosa spot. There was one, but he was hyper-focused towards it, and Safe bails him out. This is good from Guild. Now they have the perfect attempt towards A. The spike is left by the back of Spawn, but that can be recovered and taken through. Now the mid take wants to come out from Heretics, but they're being held back. This mid hold is so important right now. They can actually deny this retake completely.
It's a 2v2, actually. It's Safe and Leo posted up here. Poor are going to swing out. Safe actually comes out on top of it. Leo with the counter peek. A really good hold right now. Lau will respond. Not going to mean too much. Actually, Rubino finding another kill makes it interesting, but Yassine will stamp out any further hope of Heretics cracking their way back onto this A site.
Now the 1v3. Now they aren't in particularly complementary positions for each other, but there's also not easy to find. They're deep enough that you can't clear these quickly. No one's offering anything up here. Catches. Oh no! What a horrible feeling it is. Now Lau Can't make this any more expensive.
Yeah.
He's lost any shot at this. Time to get out of there, mate. Just try and keep that gun. Get on forward. Get on into this one. Now we have Guild coming back in, and I want to highlight the kind of savior of middle then. Safe, playing so well in middle, bailing out Draken was massive. Keep in mind, we had that Reyna, you know, you had Nuki 100% focused on taking out Draken. Safe was supporting him. And not only did that quell that mid-aggression that could have come through from Reyna, and I think there was also another player there, but then they were able to control mid, and when they leant into A, that retake through middle instantly locked down.
Isn't it? I mean, it's a great read from Guild as well. So that early aggression shown into B main gets the wall down. They're expecting that pivot to be back towards mid. The fact that they find so much freedom on the back of that hill elsewhere on the map, they can sit there, they can take that 2v2. It's relatively low risk.
Short seems to be high on the priority list for now, and those mid takes quite important, it feels. Out of these 3-2 splits, ultimate now popped! Catch that, Nuki! Probably a little straighted with that, but let's see if he bounces back. He will be down for now. And as we can see, this kind of, it's a little bit more of an active mid-hold than just your standard default, but I quite like it. I actually really like this kind of approach. Now, Pora, that's a shot. Locks the head off of Draken's shoulders as he tries to kind of shift back over towards B, which he could have potentially taken the safer route on if he wanted.
I think actually on the back of that, Pora's got a perfect read here.
Yep.
Again, seeing that player in that position in mid behind Fountain. Going to readjust both Rubino and Pora actually. The Recon not going to give them any information at all. Wall goes down. Hopefully give them safe passage onto lane.
30 seconds left.
They anticipate the second though.
This could be sick. Gonna feel assured that this is the right place, the right time. Pora gives away nothing until now. Sees one, finds one, looks for another, can't get it. Now Rubino called upon to deliver. Hops in the utility, but 13 seconds on the board. There ain't much time for this spike plant. This has to be quick and this has to be correct. This can't be stopped, and it isn't. But now, the ultimate gets invested because they want all that information. Even those wall bangs could be pretty solid in this. And Safe waiting in the back of that boathouse for the retake.
Vova still has the paranoia again, just probably waiting on this cooldown for one of his smokes here. Gonna send it through, they're gonna swing through. 3 members of Guild tucked into back sight. It's actually worrying here. Safe gonna find an opener though. Avova responds. 2v2 now. Actually, the recon gonna come through. Avova finds a second now. It's just Bonkard standing. Avova with the third, and Heretics with a fantastic retake there. Guild just sat back, I guess wanted to run the clock down as much as possible, forcing Heretics onto site. They have to come and clear back site altogether. It's on the back of Avova.
Have a little watch back of this. You're right, they let them get insanely close on this. Isolates the first fight, no trade, taps the spike, spams in perfectly. This is just Avova having a sublime round. Now, obviously helped out and supported, but thus far, this is very solid. Again, though, keep an eye on the money for Guild, because it's looking like it's waning a touch. We've got the Marshal coming out and a Sheriff for Yassine, so we'll see how this affects this.
Alright, a different setup here. Obviously, Pora has the lockdown, so they're playing too deep on tree on A site. Now putting this wall down in B main gives them a little bit of control of the other side of the map as well. You've seen creeping in with that owl drone, but with where the spike is, I was going to say, it's looking as if Guild are probably going to lean towards A side. Now that they've got that kill though, that's going to force Guild away, and I mean that's a big win for Heretics. I mean, they're not going to commit to this retake now with the lockdown, which I guess was the initial plan, the setup for this round at least.
You can see them trying to find those picks in mid, and a very different lean from Heretics, it looks like, this round. Previously, they've been quite proactive through middle. Now, maybe, you know, somewhat learning their lesson, but also you don't want to potentially walk into a lighter buy, you know, that could potentially capitalize on that. For the timing's awful for him. Very unfortunate, but a great shot from Draken gives them a chance now of over. Do they know he's here? That's going to be the big question, and how well do they check this? The wall goes up, that's good enough, that'll keep things going. Now the spam comes in. One makes it through, and that's with the spike, but do the rest. It looks like they've made it through for now. Leo's there with him, so he's got a supporting member of cast. And already Lau creeping a little forward, checking all the standard angles that he gets a chance on first and foremost, but it's still a 4v4 post plant. Here's that go off, so he knows there's at least one player towards hell.
Smoke goes down over. The Empress gets popped as well. So Heretics gonna commit towards this. Here, it's
On the way back.
they could indeed. I see the ping comes through on Hell. Yeah, Bonkar will fall. Draken swings off that. The Rover good for the trade. Another one though. Leo
The flank!
will pick up a freebie. Safe will find one up in heaven as well.
Oh, the flank from Safe should deny this. Oh, the adjustment from Lau, though. Does he know what to do with this one? To get halfway, he can't. Oh, Safe
well
has just
played.
clutched this out. The man's got ice in his veins, I swear to you.
Now, there's something really interesting there. You've seen Dies. I think they know that Pora's playing in 3 there, so they almost pick up on what the plan is from Heretics. Now, I thought they were going to lean away, maybe go towards mid, maybe go towards B, but they actually come back as 4 and they challenge the exact location where Pora's planning to put that lockdown for the retake. I actually love that readjustment from Guild. And they basically catch him with his pants down, right? He's ready to throw the nano swarm down, anticipating that very push.
Now, aggression being shown, double stacked up towards B main, but it's actually an alien coming through. Now, they've been double stacking on towards tree, sure, kind of that area, but now it is just the Omen. No one present on site. And still a default being held. This is a 3... A Vova? What? Someone check him PC right now. What
It's
mouse
not
is he
naturally.
using? It is not naturally Hypoc. I don't know what he is on today, but he is absolutely popping. Like, he's having a series. Whether or not it converts to the round win will yet to be seen, but it's a great start. A huge denial of presence, and it shows intention. Now, Lau, still controlling here. This lean back towards middle is going to be interesting. Let's see what Lol does with this. An impeccable player. Now, timing is going to be a factor. Has to fall away from the wall, but look how many players are present here now. They decide to go through towards A. That's a brutal fight to be taking. But there still should be a jump peek at the back by the Sova. I'm pretty sure Rubino should know what's going on here. TP comes out from Avova. That clears. There's no one there. This is not an A lean right now. They've already kind of dispersed through towards middle.
Cage 30 seconds left.
And just throw down a little bit of a fake, making Heretics believe it might be a market split here, but I've overposted up. As soon as that comes through, yeah, found it now. And actually, the lockdown invested preemptively elsewhere. Nuki going to find a kill, dismiss away. He's going to play his life. 13 seconds left on the clock now. And the pressure comes on to Gil to get this spike in.
A dangerous plant now. He's open, super open. No time for it. And Pora with a quick swing back in. Really nice play from Avova that round. Nuki worth some really big value. Lau's control on short. That was a well played out round from Heretics, but I like the options that Guild tried to explore. The instantaneous play, it didn't work out, but they made a round out of it.
It did indeed. I think Heretics maybe read that they were still going to fake A.
Yeah.
So just that utility invested towards back market drags out the lockdown from Pora, and it's in a really weird spot as well. It's not on the boxes, it's on the right side of defensive spawn on B site. That's a big ultimate to A, invest, and B, be misused, right?
And that has broken the back of the money. This should be 5-3, but a 3-2 split towards A gives them a fair crack at it. Avova forced away, 55 HP. He's vulnerable, but the adjustment! Where on earth does he get the
They can rest
audacity
this.
to bang a heady off of that? And now, what, the site's theirs. They can get that spike down. Pora, I don't know if you want to go alone on this. There are no trades yet available. They have a decent post-plant scenario for Leo on short as well. He can hold this down and keep all that focus towards heaven.
They're both teams with a res. You can see actually now Lau trying to aggress back through mid. Gonna think better of it. And there you go, Leo gonna get removed. So that is the revive off the cards. The Guild also. Safe just getting popped through the cage there. Nuki gonna dismiss through. Use that actually to find some more information. We'll spot out Draken's position.
Draken now noted. Monka, the only unknown element. His head down, and now 1, 2, 3, 4. They all hear him, but they don't check on him. And well, there's a bit of damage, but not enough to deny the defuse.
I love that. Was that bomb? Just getting tagged up and desperately trying to jump around in hell. It's like you have no good options there if you get tagged by either a recon bolt or the owl drone with that retake coming through from heaven.
Gone.
Valiant attempt. 5-3. Back on the buy though for Guild, so this is where things get a little bit more interesting. They have been heavily favoring A. If they decide to maybe switch it up. I don't think we've seen an initial B take, unless I'm mistaken. Maybe we have, but I can't
Right here.
pull one to memory. And they've gone for a 4-play stack towards B this round. Maybe the read in, they're like, oh, then maybe they'll switch it up, or maybe it's just to simply set up this aggression towards B main. Again, Nuki sitting at the back of B is very interesting. This is rinse and repeat. The 3-2 split towards A, leaving this very much in the hands of Avova.
Oh, nearly actually getting pinched down. Not sure if he messed up his TP or what, but lucky to get away with his life at least. Guild expecting one more here, but Heretics going to sit back. Again, Avova staying alive there is huge for them. Not sure what Safe is looking at, but...
I feel like we might be getting a timeout
Planted.
after this round. Do you have that feeling?
yeah.
Alright, let's see how this goes though. Ultimate's now popped in. Here we go. Nukuri finds Safe though, so Bonka, desperate to make one of these land properly, doesn't quite find as much as he'd like. 3 now remain. Yassine, Bonka, and Leo. Nuki's found Yassine, and it's the double stack again. That hell play coming out. Leo in towards the right corner, the left side being Bonka. 2 now drop. None of them to be found. Bonka gets 1, but the numbers simply favor Heretics, and they pull off a very diligent retake once again.
Again, I like that. It's huge that Avova actually stays alive there. It gives Heretics that opportunity for, you know, a really clean setup. They can kind of take in, I guess, as much information as possible and then address the situation. So again, Heretics looking really, really good in retakes in particular. And I mean, for Guild, it's they're not even really making too many mistakes on these post-plant scenarios. But I mean, every round it comes in, Avova will pop off. You know, Pora will find a few kills. It's difficult really when it comes down to just kind of like the fundamentals, right? Heretics is so good for those clearances coming back into sites.
Yeah, and there was a saying, and you know, I know a couple of Counter-Strike teams would, you know, have this mentality that it's the strats that get you to the site to get you the spike planted, or, you know, in CS, the bomb planted, for example. And then it's kind of your individuals, your players to try and play retake on that, or to hold the post plant. That's where things can get a little kind of like mixed up. It's hard to choreograph, you know, post plant scenarios because they're very hard to predict. They could be so many variables coming out. So I think right now we are seeing a little bit more punch from Heretics, and also kind of playing to their strength, I guess. They've been having Avova almost soloing out towards tree for such a large amount of time. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of help coming in, but the vast majority, he's pretty much been just kind of isolated on his own, doing really well at controlling it. So I think credit to him for always seemingly finding value, never dying needlessly, just kind of playing the right balance on this. But Guild, they're doing technically everything correctly to at least get towards the site, getting the spike planted, controlling the timing on it. The post plants, though, we need to talk about what the next step for them could be here. Is it maybe trying to go for, you know, maybe a stronger lurk somewhere, try and get the timing set on that, maybe exploit middle a little bit, try and catch those rotations, try and play for initial pick? Because we're seeing kind of 5v5 or maybe at most 5v4 post plant scenarios, Hypoc.
It is, yeah, and it's difficult, really. I mean, Guild, they keep leaning the same way in the early round, and you can see already Heretics, they're adjusting in anticipation of that B hit coming through, right? There needs to be a round where Guild can either isolate that gap in mid, or they actually come through and find that gap on A, right? The fact that Heretics can sit back and play retakes so comfortably it is kind of more concerning, right? Because Guild, they're burning so much utility to get in. Avova's not going to throw anything back at it. If he's playing to survive, he's not going to use his paranoia. He's probably not even going to use his smokes. He's going to keep both of them off cooldown for the retake. So yes, Guild are finding a gap, but unfortunately it's on the site where Heretics are happy to sit back and just say, well, you can take it. Like, use everything you got. We're just going to burst back through with everything off cooldown.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we then can kind of change the conversation to, well, how do you take that utility away? Hitting default, showing presence elsewhere, trying to kind of apply that presence across the map. So maybe they burn through some of that utility so they don't have everything ready for that retake, but it's all about timing. This is all theory crafting. I mean, we're talking nonsense because a player has dropped. Once they join back on the server, we'll be back in game. Don't worry. We don't actually choose this, and also we don't start the games, but that's another topic for another day. It's
Mitchman. Mitchman's the one that starts the games.
He does have, I think it's just like a button that he hits, goes straight in. But yeah, overall, I think it's just, for me, I think we need to see a little bit of a change of mentality from Guild, because it feels like, I'm sure it looks and feels to them like they're like, well, we're so close, we've been getting these spike plants, we've been doing everything right, we're getting on the site.
Exactly, yeah.
But the sad fact is they're not getting as close as they should be, maybe in holding those retakes. So the adjustment there is going to be tricky, whether it be a late lurk. I think Safe pulled a pretty nice late lurk through tree at one point, but I don't know if they can keep finding repetition and success of that. So again, we have to see if this changed now. It was a player dropping from the server, but maybe even just individually, they've had time to kind of consider a way to adjust on this. So let's find out what they come back in with. Again, hopefully all is good. I think it was actually Safe who dropped out. So hopefully he's back in and he's all good to go. Thank you for your patience. Very much appreciated. And we'll stop talking nonsense.
We set the tempo, not them.
Chat will be elated to hear that. As, we're coming back into this one. 4 ultimates online for Guild. Got a funky bite, 2 Spectres, a Stinger, a Sheriff, and a Bucky. So yeah, actually again going to lean towards this A split. 2 through main, 3 up short. Ravova. Pressure kind of falls onto him. They're going to note the position of the turret and try and deal with that. Poor though. No smoke or anything to break that sight line. Draken going to try to kill out of nowhere onto Ravova there, seemingly.
Trying to apply the pressure towards tree a little there, but Safe's going to lose his life for it now. Again, spike to be planted. Killjoy this time, though, has even more to bring to the equation. Where did that go?
It destroyed the lockdown. That's
Oh,
huge.
that's sick. Okay, fair enough. Okay, game back on. That is massive work, but they still need to weather the storm. And once again, you're seeing Heretics just break onto the shore like waves, just completely unfazed by Guild in this great attempt. I like what you're seeing did. It took me a second to realize. And yes, he finds Rubino. But once again, same retake comes in. Heretics put another on the board.
So now this is the time, right? This is the time where I want to see Guild flex elsewhere. I don't want to see the same attempt in the early round. Maybe try and aggress onto this wall if Heretics, decide to look for that B main control here. Because again, I think Heretics going to lean away now. They're going to anticipate it. So it's kind of a catch-22, to be honest with you. Of when Guild do it, but you can see now with the 3-man stack over towards B, I think they are anticipating that. They're like, eventually they're going to hit B. They're going to try and split market, but Guild just almost stuck in their ways, I'll be honest, Lauren.
They're going to try and take through middle. I want to look at Draken and Safe here, because I feel like they could actually be game changers, because you can't just keep hitting your head against a brick wall and hoping for a different outcome, right? Like, that's literally the definition of madness. So I want to see a switch up here. Now, the scary factor is that Poor is now committed deeper utility because, well, they've been expecting this. And look at
Leaning
this.
again.
Just absolutely having his way with them. Yassine's gone. Leo's dead. Now, there is a bit of a fight back. Draken and Bonka find some presence. So they've cleared the site out. Now, it's a 3v3 post plan again. Now, look at the utility. Still okay. It's not as ripe as we've seen before. But let's have a little wait and see what the retake looks like.
Actually, not much on the cards. 1 slow orb for Heretics and a Lear Nookie, but going to try and find some value with this nonetheless. Comes through, Safe holding close contact. He's going to find the first kill here. And actually the ping comes through. Rubino will respond, but difficult here really for him to dig Draken and Bonkar out of hell. Drop down. We'll find a clean 1v1, but Bonkar holds the line. We'll close that one out. Finally, Guild cracked the code on A site.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah, I guess they were playing a little bit more dedicated towards the site. Not at this point. It was the fact that I think that Killjoy was playing a little bit more present on the site and had a great initial couple of kills, but by the time it came towards the site take, they didn't have as many players for that retake present. So it's kind of that you make your choice. Do you try and take the players on the site there? You get a good couple, but they will get the spike plant and then potentially a 3v3 post plant, or do you give up the site control completely, put down your utility short, play from heaven, and then maybe be able to play back in. The round's already live. We've missed the start there because it was a swift one from Yassine, and Nookie trying to be a little bit more of an influence here, showing presence, gets to know what's going on, but Guild now full commitment on this. Draken tries to get a little cheeky with it, not going to happen, but information found. Aura, this position, it's tricky to work from, but in combination with the crossfire that Avova could provide, could be huge. Now, they've shown presence and hit the brakes, and now they're working on that mid-lurk. I like that. Let's look towards Safe. Let's look towards what Draken's trying to do with this, because they're just holding for a second.
Actually, Safe managed to slip in behind that Aldron. You look at the minimap right now, he's going to get a free kill onto Rubino if he's not looking for it in there. We do see it in the background. That's actually going to open the entire of the map open for Guild. See if they can capitalize off this.
I want to see if your scene starts making presence towards A now. They can keep just pulling these rotations, bits of noises here and there. Save!
Save!
Is so good! This is the perfect way to exploit what Heretics have been doing. We said about that mid lurk, we were looking towards seeing, you know, either Draken or Safe do it, and they found the right timing to probably give them this round. This should be 5 on the board, as Pora's a mile away. They know where he's been playing. He's been noted. That'll be in the, you know, the mental banks here. Good first step towards Leo, takes no damage. That's important. Keeps himself clean. Ultimate thrown into the mix. A little bit more pressure added in. Spotted in the middle, and Draken is there.
Yeah, 2 rounds. I mean, the last 2 rounds and a half. But again, that's just a completely different look from Guild, right? They're able to create that presence in the early round. Yes, Nuki gives up the kill, but straight away you see the pivot elsewhere. Straight away you see that mid lurk come into play. That's kind of what they've been lacking, I'll be honest.
It's perfect. I mean, it was funny. I was watching Potter, who does the NA analyst. She was just having a stream talking about it, and a lot of these players, you know, it's all about catching that rotation, right? You get that first pick. The knock-on effect is not necessarily hyper-readable, but it is readable. As a player, you'll think, okay, well, they're going to shuffle X and Y now towards this position. Can I find a way to exploit that? And someone like Safe is really solid at doing it. In that round, he knew that after losing our Nuki, they might start building towards that A, you know, presence that they had before. So again, great read from Safe. I cannot highlight it enough. However, we are into the round now, 5-7. Side switch comes in. Heretics on the attack this time. So let's see how that Reyna now looks, and let's see how Guild fare on their defensive side.
Initially, Heretics just looking. A couple of signs. So you're seeing already hitting the preemptive rotate away from tree. This could be interesting here again. They're able to kind of create any sort of presence towards A main. I'm expecting, yeah, you see now actually going to drift back towards heaven. Heretics are leaning a little heavier on site.
They're like, hey, you guys keep doing this. We're going to try it out. Let's see how it goes. The 3-2 split towards A. Smokes around. Now keep an eye on the spike to see when it commits.
That's
Now,
so much clutter.
yeah, look at this. Look at the amount of smokes. Look at all the utility that's just been thrown down. Now, Nuki's going to spot 1 towards the cubby up towards heaven. Your team does better than him. Nice work on that. Now, the Spike's still hesitant to commit on this, I feel. They're looking for a frag, and it's not coming.
Let's just sit back. The Nano Swarm is what forces you seen out of that spot. Of over. Find another as well, so Safe.
Spike planted.
Last man standing in heaven. Actually, no, Bonkar going to wrap up behind him here. But a 3v3.
Standing ahead.
What Gil can put together for this retake.
See if they can do it just as well. Pora, super postured up, super happy for a fight on that as well. Finds Bonker, spots out another, and they found Leo, so they know where the last player is. Safe now going to have to pull off a miracle play. A 1v3 on 7 HP. Time ticking. Gotta make his move, and he starts to build forward. And you can see the crossfires. The first checkpoint would be that Hell player in the deeper corner. There's nothing to be done on this, and keep in mind he can play this how he wants, but he finds Rubino. Now that's interesting, but it's Pora who takes the proactive angle to make sure that Avova never felt alone in this, and it will be Heretics to pick up a good start here.
Actually, just one small thing to highlight, and it's this smoke that goes down in front here. It creates this really, that angle right there. That smoke, this gives Pora such a good setup to deal with those players as they swing out of help. And it's actually really difficult for them to respond onto that. They either dip into the smoke, they're very vulnerable, and then obviously the counter peek comes from sight. It's the small things like that. Heretics looking so confident. I mean, the plan is there. The game plan is there. You can see it in every single round, Lauren.
Here we go again. Guild now going to start feeling a bit of that pressure starting to mount. The pistol would have been really nice to kind of just give you that little boost. You'd be like, okay, probably end up on 7. That's us right at the doorstep. We're right back on it. It'll be right now. We've seen these rounds go either way on the previous map, though. So, there's certainly a chance. Nuki starts his walk. Has a little look. They'll get some... Now, that's 2 players noted towards short. I'm pretty sure he noted that Cypher was there as well. And there was an Omen too, so they know there's a double stack towards short. And Bora catching that flank so well. Reading Guild like a book, and now they know where the last 2 players will be. It's going to be towards short, towards tree, and Safe. Again, called upon in dire straits, so 1v5. This is a conversion, and I doubt they'll get many kills.
I love the fan, man. The fan's the best. The fan is the best skin.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Hands down. Especially in that scenario, she's like chilling. Yeah, well, what do I do? What do I do? I'll chill for a sec.
Might as well. Good work from
One
Pora as
enemy
well. Lovely
remaining.
little catch on that flank there. Good work.
Comes through, but it's again a strong bonus round opportunity here for Heretics. Spectres across the board. Ultimate wise, Pora one off the lockdown. Rubino 2 away from the Hunter's Fury. Again, this is the round that really you look for them to maybe go for some orb control. Maybe pick those up as bonuses coming into this one. I see Guild going to try and flex a little bit into B main. It's
Satchel out.
all 5 players of Heretics behind it. I'm actually going to hang around, and actually, yeah, you can see Guild considering leaning away from this. You've seen, unfortunately,
For you.
coming out the worst of the two from that 1v1, but be interesting to see what Heretics do here. Yeah, they're going to take the orb, the lockdown available for them. I think they're going to force the issue here onto B.
The timing they go for on this Yassine is not backing away either.
No, he's
And
not.
he's got a triple face on this. He's got 2 players towards connector. Now that Omen's kind of swinging in between. But here we go. Now here's the... Oh no, Nuki's just found Yassine completely for free. And you're going to see, once again, more isolated players on the fight, but Draken just bails him out. I'm pretty sure he was blind then.
Oh no, they're going to peek him. He gets detained. Bonkar good for the trade, good for a second as well. Lau, the last man standing. Leo will clean it up. An awkward round, I'll be honest. Draken swings forward under the paranoia, finds 2 kills and then gets detained, but he'll stabilize and yeah, yeah, I'm fine with the lockdown usage there. Again, you're using it on kind of the off tempo from Bonkar, having the Hunter's Fury available. Right there, I mean, it's difficult really to close out that round when you can't find that entry. Looking at it, actually, yeah, Yassine's only member for Guild that's down on the Spectre still. There's a Bulldog on there, but the Heretics come back into this with the full purchase.
Six to 9.
Recalling my bot.
I mean, it's going to be interesting on this. The one way create and pose a terrible problem if they wanted to go for the timing on this. They'll have to respect that smoke for now. Really make much happen against it. That's from Draken. Sending it down. He's over by Wine now. They better check this meticulously. Invest in towards this now. There's been contact made through short. It isn't much Draken now. That's good though. He still gets 1 for his troubles. Cleared out though. At least they went through the motions of clearing and they get the reward. Now they continue forward towards the side. They do have Reyna towards it. Now you're going to have Nuki on towards the side itself. Safe trying to do the dance, but his angle's unfavorable. Wide in the open. You can see them trying to bail him out of that spot, but they die for it. And now 3v2. Bonker and Yassine. Not in the best spot for this, but trying to play together to play this back.
Thing is, this is huge for Heretics. Rubino has the Hunter's Fury. You can see him fall all the way back deep into A main here. Again, it's on a Vova and Lau to just run the clock down. Put the pressure back onto Guild in this retake scenario. Actually going to get popped preemptively here by Rubino. But again, that plays in their favor, right? The clock is ticking away here. Guild have to make a move. Lau will pick up Bonkar when he drops. The recon bolt going to ping out Yassine as well. And his days are numbered. Find Lau and Constellation. Actually, we'll find 2 as well. So that's huge. The nade could actually deal with Rubino as well, but he will escape. A nice try nonetheless, but some damage done.
Yeah, and that double stack towards Hell is just... It's super tricky to break. More and more teams are just opting to use it now. Especially with if you have 3 players alive, I think it's probably one of the best post plans to go to. Double stack towards Hell and then have one towards main if you can, because you can't clear that without being open towards the main player and, you know, an effective trade being available. It's super hard to clear, so a nice play to kind of put in, you know, and implement, especially in your post plants like that. So it works out well. It's not too hard to get to either. Leo, I do want to see a little bit more from again. He's one of those players that, look, we saw just yesterday when he goes off, how high that skill ceiling is. So I'd love to see him find a bit more of that kind of spice to it, a little bit more of that work that he was bringing through. You've seen? Builds up, and now he's got his ultimate online.
And a lot of early round information as well. That side of the map. Guild not actually leaning away from A on the back of it, which is interesting. They're actually going to commit a 3rd player over here, or maybe just putting Safe in a position to solo play A, and you're seeing now going to rotate away with the showstopper, maybe. Heretics leaned at 4 here. The only Pora that's not involved in this hit. Draken's TP going to give away all that information, though.
What? Oh! That's not bad. You're seeing Flames allow. Let's see what more damage can come through. Of course, though, you're seeing Leo, Bonka all working with substantially less than they'd like. A
Pora
rifle
slip
that you're
through.
seeing could be good. Pora threading the needle now. This is getting scary, but they've lost that utility towards short. He should realize there's problems coming his way. Now they can't. They're going to try and rotate through short. They've lost control on this. This is sketchy. Now they're trusting in the guns by their side, but Yassine's got his own. Now he does trade out. Nookie now just powers forward. That was a little dangerous, but they took maybe the calculated risk, and it's down to Bonkar now in the 1v2. The turret should give it away and create such a favorable fight.
Yeah.
Bonkar tries to clear. And now what opportunity does he get given? Not a favorable one. It's going to be Heretics just building in the right direction. And they're not far from securing their place in the final now.
Oh, they reach 11 rounds, and there again, you can see Guild kind of leaning away. They want to save through. They want to try and hold Heretics on 11. They're going to come back into this with their full purchase. Again, it was Guardians and I think a Spectre as well in the mix. Team obviously throwing the showstopper in to try and maximize their chances of closing that round out, but they got to dig deep now because Heretics have found their groove here on Ascent.
And I've really watched so much of the potential show for Guild recently, and it's been really enjoyable because Guild were a team I feel we were waiting to find that form, and it just kept slipping away from them. But they had been landing the results. They got to the semi-finals. And I think, I mean, you've seen all our votes. We didn't think they'd make it here. And that's on us. Guild have over-delivered. But now maybe this is it. Maybe this is the wall they can't quite get past yet. But it ain't a bad performance. There's still a chance. Slim as it may be, it's time to find out how much they can do here. Waiting on the other side, the wall should be going up pretty soon so they can make their way over. Here we go, but the ultimate gets popped. That could be big for Bonkar. He's going to find Rubino. He needs a little bit more than that, though, as Nookie's made it towards the site, and now suddenly there's problems. Leo swiftly handles it, and this hit's been just shredded. This is the Guild you want to be seeing.
And Neural Theft comes through. That's going to reveal the last 2 players for Heretics, and they need a kill if they want to try and recover this round. They need it quick. We're going to pick up the orb just to make this as worthwhile as possible. And maybe they're just looking to do a little bit of damage. I mean, I want to see Guild kind of hold strong here. Actually, Lau going to swing in. They find 2 kills in quick succession. They finally responds, but Lau actually going to get somebody back on his feet. Brings it to a 2v2. 13 seconds left. They want to commit to this.
10 seconds left.
6 seconds. 5. How do you find this? You don't, Guild. Lock it down. Lau can't find this. There's no time for the spike plant.
Again, though, we'll have to take a look at it, but what does that do to the economy for Guild? Yeah, look. I mean, yeah, it's not great from Heretics, but I mean, when you're in the position of being on 11 rounds, I'm actually okay with that. Maybe not the revive getting invested, but looking to do that damage. So they can scrape together a judge and 3 big rifles and a bulldog. It's not terrible, but
It's not terrible, but when your tournament life is on the line, it doesn't feel great. Raken. For the beginning. Enough found to keep him super present, but it's Nookie trying to lead in towards A. Sat in the corner. We'll be safe. Now they're reading so much into this presence towards middle. Now Killjoy invests the ultimate. That should at least keep them somewhat safe. Now I wonder how on earth Safe would have gotten out of here, but luckily he doesn't get checked on. Now there's a problem. Now he's burning alive. The cage gets triggered. He gets out of there just about. He is a lucky boy. And you can see, yes, he gets detained, but he should be okay to get to safety. And now the rest of the team should be able to take the site and get that spike down.
well, that's the important thing. Guild do keep 5 alive. Safe will now pick up a heal as well. They got to dig loud out of this position now, and the judge probably the worst thing for it. Leo, good for the trade though, and we'll get the res back up. So Guild have the numbers advantage coming back onto this retake.
Timing, keep your eye on it. keep considering it. Nuki still looking to be the first port of contact. Spins around, finds safe, spins around again, gets the double. And now it's just down to Bongo in a very... God, I was going to say very
so
reasonable
good.
1v2, but apparently not. Nuki denies, and we are on 12 now. 1 round away from Heretics making it to the finals.
He's so good.
Enemy remaining.
That readjustment to find Leo there. We just need a separate stream. Just Nuki Pov. Nuki Pov, just every
Winners
game.
POV? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
12 to 7. And you mentioned the money before, and it's hard to not keep note of it.
It's
a
in
bad
the
spot
bin
for
now.
Guild.
It's in the bin.
This has to be a huge swing of performance.
No ults
Dig
either.
deep. They've got so little to play with in this round, Hypok.
I mean, look at it as well. I mean, look at the utility. Look down the left side of the screen. No paranoia. No slows. No wall. It's not good. Whatever way you cut it, it is not good for Guild in this round.
Time to face the music here, potentially. Scene could be on the verge of something big, and that cool from that Eldron saying, they're in middle, so they're probably coming towards you. There's one. He needs more. It's a paint shell ready, doubles dips. Has a little look. He's trying to get a little deeper on that. That's pretty bold. Doesn't quite receive damage. Now he has to respond, though. You can see the vision gets removed. Lau's found Bonker, so this isn't going well across the map, and there it is. Avova finds one. It's falling to pieces. Heretics surrounding Guild at all fronts. Draken and Safe still desperately trying to hold on to this. And the middle duo, the last two to try and make it count.
30 seconds
Have
left.
to try and play retake with a judge, but no, the upgrades. They've got rifles. And now this is it. Tournament life on the line. Heretics on the verge of making it to the finals. And Guild staring down the barrel of the gun. Avova at the backside.
Rubino has his
Rubino
ultimate.
with him. And you're right, he's got the ultimate. It might be time to utilize it. Decides not to yet. There we go. Here it is. Hunter's Fury going to lock down that right side. That is not available. Time beginning to dwindle. They've got to make their move, and they've got to make it fast. Avova, though, spots out one, but actually Safe slips away. Gets down, but no, Avova connects so perfectly. And now just Draken left in the 1v2. Heretics on the verge of it, and they get it. It's 13 to 7.